Welcome back to If You Noke, You Know. My name is Kori Silence, and today I'm going to be the guest host of the Municipal Podcast, offering y'all a behind-the-scenes glance of the happenings in the city of Roanoke. Today, we have a very special episode celebrating our recent win at the National Civic League's All-America City Award.
Whoop, whoop.
We will be chatting with some of our incredible team members who brought home this prestigious award and unpacking what makes this award so special. So, joined with me today, we have Carol Corbin.
Hello.
And Ahoo Salem.
Hi.
So, just to start off, I have a few questions for you all. So many residents in the Roanoke area are familiar with the title, but how many people know we were the first city named to the All-America City Hall of Fame, and what does that mean for our community?
Well, I don't think many people know that we're a Hall of Fame city. However, it is completely amazing and such an honor to be the first ever Hall of Fame city to be named. Now they name a Hall of Fame city every year along with the 10 award winners. So we were the first ones to do that, and that is such an honor for Roanoke. What it means for our community, there's several big important reasons why we like to be an All-America city. And the first one, and most important to me, I think, is community pride. So I think there's something really special about being able to say we're an All-America city. We are an 8-time All-America city. Second, on a more national level, it does provide a certain amount of national recognition to get your city and the things that you're working on out there on a national scale where other cities and towns and counties are able to recognize and see what you're doing. And beyond that, being an All-America city can help attract and retain businesses to your area or residents to your area who are wanting to live in sort of a healthy community.
Yeah, for sure. So Roanoke has a reputation for being both beautiful and unique. Can you explain the qualifications of an All-America city?
Yes, so every year the National Civic League has a theme to the All-America City competition. And in that theme, they've got several areas of focus. This year, the theme was strengthening democracy through civic engagement and innovation. And there were several different key areas that you could focus on beyond just community engagement, but also improving voter registration, strengthening collaboration with community partners, and so on. And once you receive the theme and the focus areas, you have to complete a very rigorous application. And by very rigorous, this application is like 40 pages. It's pretty intense. And our assistant to the city manager and former community inclusion coordinator, Katie Hedrick, she and I completed that application for the city. Once you submit the application, a panel of judges read through many cities who apply for the award that year through their applications, and they select 20 finalists. And then those 20 finalists then compete and have to present their projects to a separate panel of judges, so a whole new panel, and present the different projects that they're working on in their city. And then those judges then determine who the 10 All-America cities that best meet the theme and the focus areas for the year are. And we were very, very grateful and happy to be one of those cities this year.
Yeah, so to be one of those cities, I've heard our team worked on an amazing presentation that helped us secure our 8th win. So tell me about the presentation. What were the initiatives that the team found essential to highlight about the city of Roanoke?
Go ahead, Ahoo.
So the initiatives that were highlighted throughout our presentation would focus on 2 general categories. One was the city's inclusion activities, including our Equity and Empowerment Advisory Board, the decisions that have been made through that board, and also the city's collective effort with the nonprofit organizations and other departments that led to Roanoke receiving Virginia's first ever certified welcoming designation last year. The other part of it focused on the allocation of ARPA funds and with specific examples of where these funds were allocated based on public input and a decision-making process that highlighted areas of high need, what those projects are doing, and what are the next steps after those projects.
Yeah, and with the presentation itself, so we had 11 team members. Ahoo and I were both members on that team, along with Mayor Lee, Council Member Trish White Boyd. We had 2 youth representatives, Javion Tucker and Kennedy Wade. We had Katie Hedrick, our assistant to the city manager, and assistant city manager Angie O'Brien from the city. But then from our community partners, Ahoo was there with us, along with representation from LEAP, Melrose Plaza, and Habitat for Humanity. So we also had Donna Davis, Kelly Key, and Betty Jean Wolf with us as well. And our delegation was 11 people. 9 were women. And the judges pointed that out. They were like, so, you know, who runs the world? They literally quoted Beyonce.
I love that.
And so when they quoted Beyonce, we were like, yeah, that's us. We do. Although I did feel bad for Javion, because because he was our like lone male who was up there with us during the presentation. So shout out to him for holding it down for the Roanoke men. Ahoo and I, we had a bit of a snafu in our part of the presentation, because the whole time we were practicing, we had to sort of pretend to cut a ribbon on a Habitat house while Betty Jean is explaining all of the work that Habitat has been able to do with their ARPA funding and Partners in Prosperity project. And the whole time we've been practicing, she's holding the picture and I'm just walking up and like fake cutting it with the scissors. And we have the scissors, we've tested the scissors, they cut the ribbon, it's all fine. Well, we get up there in the actual presentation, and I mean, I'm doing everything I can. This ribbon is not cutting at all, which sounds so silly, like for the presentation, but literally I'm sitting here like, what am I going to do if this ribbon doesn't cut? Like, I'm just going to have to like rip it off the picture. I don't know. But eventually it did, and everybody kind of chuckled when they saw the issues I was having trying to cut the ribbon.
I think I stood in good form as a house. I did not offer you any help. I just stood still.
Literally like the 3rd time I'm trying to cut this ribbon, like at this point people in the audience are starting to laugh because they're all presenting, you know, throughout the weekend too, and they understand. They're like, oh my god, if I was up there I'd be so embarrassed, and I kind of was. On the flip side to that, I actually worked with Betty Jean as well when we were sort of acting out some of the things that are good outcomes from Melrose Plaza, where we were providing groceries to people and providing money to, you know, represent the banking system, and then putting a cap on Betty Jean's head because they have an adult education center. And Betty Jean, I don't know if anybody who's listening knows her, but she has a smile that can light up the room. And she just, I mean, was so happy to graduate. She's getting the money when I'm like paying her for the week from the banking system. And I mean, she's just throwing it out into the crowd. She's making it rain. So she definitely like brought some life and liveliness after my big ribbon cutting snafu. So I was excited for that. But it was really great. We started the presentation with a video from Mayor Lee, sort of introducing our city and where we stand, and then also introducing some of our newcomers who have participated in some of the city's inclusion efforts. And that was really important, I think, to us to be able to include the voice of some of our community who maybe couldn't afford to take off time from work or be able to go with us, but to really show how they have benefited from some of the programs and projects that we were presenting.
Yeah.
And from an educational perspective, because I do represent Blue Ridge literacy one way or the other, the ability to bring in learners who study at Blue Ridge Literacy but have also been parts of my city academy in the video by having RVTV's team at our physical location, and then sharing updates while we were on the Denver trip, and afterwards, of course, sharing the news of us winning the award and then showing them the video afterwards. It's really tied in the whole collective work of us together. Many of our learners, like myself, are new to Roanoke and to the United States. We obviously love our new city, and seeing that as newcomers we are contributing to its receiving its national prestigious award feels very good.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it from that perspective, but I love that. It's one of the things that we really like to recognize is this is a community effort. This isn't just a City of Roanoke government effort. I mean, none of this happens without Blue Ridge Literacy, without Habitat for Humanity and LEAP and Melrose Plaza, without all of our great community partners. In fact, we had so many community partners that we would have loved to include because they're doing so many wonderful things. Unfortunately, they only allow us to put 3 projects on the application, so it got cut short. But I really love the idea that our newcomers are also helping to shape an all-America city, being so new, not only to the city, but to America.
Absolutely. And all of our residents, I can speak for myself, we use a range of services, not only one. We have diverse needs, also diverse qualification skills.
And also speaking about the presentation, so something that's like presentation adjacent, walking in to the presentation. Yes. So you get 2.5 minutes to enter the auditorium, get yourself set up on stage and get ready. And there were some cities that had, I mean, somebody brought a marching band. There was a literal marching band playing as they went in. There was a city in Texas that is known for like their festivals and their inclusion or their cultural inclusion through these community festivals. And they brought like kid dancers, and these dancers are literally like blowing your mind with some very official fancy dancing. And we were all kind of like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're not dancing on the way in. Like, none of us are really like chanting kind of people, because some people, you know, had chants for their city going in. That wasn't us either. So really kind of showing our innovation on the team, we came up with on the fly being able to project the It's Here video that our economic development and is it Buzz for Good and our Arts Commission, that they put out, really representing how arts and culture are such a driving economic factor in our valley. And we literally played it, so not only did the music play and we had something sort of auditory to walk into, but we also sort of showed the video as we were walking in, so people could see our city and see our artwork and see our cultural inclusiveness. And that was a really interesting thing that was a last minute game day decision. And then also last minute game day decision, one of their presenters who isn't able to be here today, Donna Davis, it was her birthday. The day we presented, it was her birthday. And so we literally had the entire crowd sing her happy birthday as we left.
Oh, I love that.
Katie got up to the microphone and she's like, just so everybody knows, it's a national holiday. And you could literally see all of these, you know, government employees in the crowd, like being like, what in the heck? Like, what government holiday is today? We're trying to think about it. And they're like, no, it's Donna Davis's birthday and she's here with us and we want you to sing her happy birthday. And so it was a really fun way to include everybody who was there to sort of lift up a member of our community. So yeah, even we've been practicing this presentation for a few weeks before going, but even like day of, we were still making these little, you know, micro changes, trying to get everything together.
Well, I love that initiative of communities not only respecting each other, but learning from each other and kind of taking away key concepts that we can even use here in Roanoke. So kind of going off of that, what else did you learn from their presentations aside from the, you know, amazing dancers and fanfares?
Fanfare, yeah.
I definitely came back with a lot of pointers of what we are doing fine and what are some more things that we can add on to that. I really liked the focus in many different communities in ensuring that information is distributed among all community members through formal and informal channels, and also in hearing back from different members of the community. So for me personally, information has been something that I came back with some innovative ideas. Also, I will say, it gave me a sense of why we have been an all-American city 7 times before. I think we have come a long way compared to, let's say, if we are going to look at 0 as the beginning of the scale, we are definitely not at 0. We have had a lot of good practices to back us up and a bit of way to build some more on.
I completely agree with that. I appreciated not only seeing the presentations of the other cities, but there was a part of the weekend that was sort of dedicated to every city basically taking a deep dive into one idea or one project that they were presenting for the competition. And Roanoke was paired with High Point, North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I believe Monrovia. We had several different localities sort of join our room and just want to listen and hear what was going on. But I believe those were the key localities that we were paired with to dive into. And, you know, it was very interesting because High Point was really focused in on a lot of their food access efforts, which was really interesting to hear about, given the fact that we also had LEAP with us to deal with our access to food in our locality, and to sort of compare and contrast, okay, what are pieces of that maybe LEAP could incorporate that they haven't, or what are ways that, you know, LEAP has already been doing this for years and really setting the standard. So it was very interesting to sort of see those ideas and also see how people interpret what democracy is, because with democracy being a key theme for this year, to see the way people interpret democracy, where it's not necessarily a political point of view or a political standpoint, but more communities working together to create change together and what that means to communities. That was really powerful for me to see.
Yeah, of course. And I heard that there were actually other delegations from Virginia that won. I'm not aware.
So a key phrase at the end of the weekend was VA all day, because Virginia had 3 localities that were finalists this year. And we were all kind of concerned because we were like, wait a minute, does that mean like only one locality from Virginia is going to win? And what does that look like? But then it's in no particular order when they list the winners, but we were announced first. And so we're like, whew, it's us, we got it. But then beyond that, you know, you really root for those localities, Danville and Newport News, that we are familiar with and we know, because they are so close to where we are geographically. And so when they won, I mean, I would say when any Virginia locality won, all of Virginia showed up, and it was a really special experience for me to see like how much everybody was supporting. I mean, shout out Danville. Absolutely. Danville is like the cheerleader of the entire state. They really made everybody feel so welcome. I mean, not even from Virginia, but
yeah. Even throughout our presentations, they were holding banners, Go VA, and it was very nice to see.
Yeah,
them.
And again, when we were walking in for the presentation, and, you know, we had our It's Here song playing, and, you know, we were wondering, like, is this too cheesy? How is this going to be walking in? I mean, Danville was right there as soon as you walked in, just like cheering and holding up signs and high-fiving people as they were coming in. So they really kind of made you feel comfortable, because you're like, oh, we got people here on our side.
For sure.
Yeah. I know I'm not hosting today, but putting on my hosting hat, Ahoo, what was the most special or interesting part of the experience for you coming along?
All of it was a very, very big honor and a very great experience for me. Again, I will make it a little bit personal. I did not grow up in an environment where we would be doing much of team competition. If I have been involved in sports, it has been solo sports. I'm not that much in the sports competition field, and I haven't been competing in elsewhere. I learned a lot of competition lingo, like, you got this, let's bring this back on, you go team. I was shocked when the first time the mayor attended one of our practice sessions, his first words were, "We're going to win." Like, oh, yes, we are. And the best part for me was when we won, when they were making the announcement, as soon as they said Star City Strong, I was jumping up and down.
Oh, I think we all were. We all were. It was just like such a relief, and also so exciting to know that like the work that we're doing and the work that the team has done leading up to it was worth it.
It was really a group work built on the collective work of our community, and yeah, being part of that was special.
Okay, and what is the one thing, like if you had one memory or one thing from the weekend that was just like that's the memory that you take with you, what would that be?
I think the way we presented, we had practiced many times. We knew our material was good. We had the drill, we have the time, but seeing it all come together while we were presenting, while we could see the judges and the audience shake their head, follow, and be really engaged, it was one of the best presentations that I could have envisioned.
Same.
I want to know your answer. Would that be the same for you?
Honestly, for me, I think the thing that I would take away the most is when everybody started singing Happy Birthday to Donna as we left. Maybe it was the feeling of relief of like, you never know how other people are going to experience the presentation. But for me, after we finished, like I had this feeling of like we nailed it. Like it could not have gone any better. It was the best we could do. We could not have done any better than what we did. And so it might have just been that relief coming through, but really to see, the several hundred people who were in that auditorium just celebrating somebody from our community and really seeing how happy Donna was as we were walking out, like that to me was like the moment to take away.
Well, thank you all so much for your efforts at and outside of the conference. Your dedication and hard work is truly appreciated. And also a big thank you to the team of If You Noke, You Know for giving me the chance to host today's episode. It's been a pleasure to be here, and we can't wait to see you next month for the intern special of If You Noke, You Know. See you then.